solidarity, all the working class. If you're in the struggle, solidarity, you know how it goes. Excited to bring you, there we go. Excited to bring you live from Lawrence, the immigrant city. It's a beautiful city. This isn't the Merrimack River, but Lawrence is built on quite a few rivers. I don't think you can see all the textile, old textile buildings. I really wanted to show you the other side, the side with the Merrimack River. I don't know what little stream this is. The Merrimack River is huge. It's way bigger than this. But this city is so beautiful. I'm sorry if it's windy. Yesterday it was 60 degrees. Yesterday it was 60 degrees and rainy here in New England. And today it's 20 and completely windy. That wind brings the wind chill factor down. See those? This whole place is just gorgeous. Now this is a working class city. That's why I stopped. If you're wondering what I'm doing up here, I just had to beat a case. Just kidding. I didn't beat a case. Had jury duty, so I had to come up here. But this city is breathtakingly beautiful and most. Maybe that's the Spigot River. That little one might be the Spigot River. I can't bring you over to the Merrimack. I'm sorry. I'm in the city of Lawrence. Ooh, not across. I don't want to get hit by that car. Here we go. Oh yeah. So Canal River, and the Spigot River's right over there. And okay, so that's the Canal River. That's the Canal River. Spigot River is up there, and the Merrimack River is right across from me. And the reason I wanted to go live, because this is obviously the struggle, the class war. The reason I wanted to go live in Lawrence is because Lawrence is known as the immigrant city, but it also has some extremely famous working class history. This city is incredible. A lot of working class people, as you can tell by all the old textile mills. Now, it was founded on the Merrimack River because the capitalists thought, well, we could power our businesses, our wool and textile businesses with the river. We harness the energy of the river. Brilliant, brilliant. Capitalism paves the way with innovation. It breeds innovation. But what happened was, I believe, and I linked the story of the Bread and Roses strike in the description so you can check it out, read it for yourself. And I know the strike was in 1912, and the IWW, the International Workers of the World, came to Lawrence to support and organize this strike. Now, I had read a couple different things. I think the City of Lawrence's website talks about in the 1800s there was a big mill collapse taking the lives of a lot of workers. I'm not sure if that ignited the fire behind the organizing. Oh, look at the. This is something you don't see in California when I live in California. Those water towers. Here in Massachusetts, it feels like every town has a water tower. That one says City of Lawrence. I'll take you to the Salem one. The Salem water tower is my favorite. It's got a witch flying on a broom. Best water tower in Massachusetts. And it's at Gallows Hill. That's the location. We used to take our kids to the park there because they got a great little skate park. It's just fun to cruise around there. But so Lawrence, the working class city, the immigrant city, the famous Bread and Roses strike. Now, what happened with that strike is the working class, on the Wikipedia page, it talks about how the workers were cut. Their hours were cut from 56 hours a week to 54 hours a week. And they weren't told, they didn't realize that with that hourly cut, their pay was cut too. And once that happened, they took, oh man, that's a broken window up there. It would be rad to investigate some of these, to check out these places at night, these old textile mills, because you know there were probably deaths and tragedy, treachery. Let's walk up to this bridge real quick. So the hours were cut. This is when the typical week was 56 hours a week. Your work week was 56 hours. You can thank unions and organizing for the 40-hour work week, 4 weekends. And unions will be pushing for even shorter work weeks with, and this is what we'll get to, the Bread and Roses strike. Uh, we're pushing for even shorter work weeks with pay increases. It doesn't make sense that the few, the most elite, the ones who don't need to worry about rent, are the ones who get to hoard all the money. A lot of broken windows. Sad to see. Like to see that some of these places turned into museums. I'm sure they have quite a few museums. Oh, hold on. Let's go down here. Oh, I hate that wind. So, the workers' hours were cut from 56 to 54, and they went on strike. When the workers went on strike, they had support from different organizers. Now remember, a strike is the last resort. Should I just broadcast from that big chair? Maybe. Sit there and tell my stories. Essex Art Center. Oh, that's cool. Oh, they're doing some photography in there. I love this city. This city is a cool looking city. If you're ever in, if you're ever 25 miles north of Boston, stop by. I bet they got amazing food. Driving through the downtown, I was like, damn, I wish I had money. Get food in every one of these places. So, the workers went on strike for the pay cut, and they went on strike from January to March. That's a long strike. And like I was saying, remember, a strike is the last resort. That is a full use of workers' powers, and they do it not because they want to, but because they have to, because they need their demands met. And they're showing their power of the working class. They're showing that the people that, the labor that creates the wealth is the true power. Because if the laborers aren't working, guess what? The people at the top aren't making any money. That's the whole purpose of a strike. But with a strike, especially back in the day, 1912, geez. That's when Fenway Park opened. Titanic sank. Think about that. That was a long time ago. They didn't have strike funds set up, I believe, or you had to do it all through solidarity, through community action. And this strike lasted so long that I guess they had to start sending their children to allies and people who were within the movement outside of. Ooh, let's walk to the Merrimack River real quick. Look at that big clock tower. So they started sending their wives and children away so they could continue all along with the strike until their demands were met. They were pushing to keep the 54-hour work week, and they were pushing for a 15 or 20% raise. They were also pushing for respect for workers who were going to go on strike. I don't think the NLRB was not formed then. So when you went on strike, you basically were risking a lot. And the working class that went on strike, there were 296 arrests during that strike. 3 people died during that strike. And it was a really, really tough, long strike. But let's get to the end of it. Because at the end, the workers got to keep their 54-hour week. Which, I mean, 2 hours shaved off doesn't seem like a lot, but I bet to them it was awesome. Because the other part was that they earned, through that strike, through their solidarity, through their organizing effort, they earned a 20% raise. So remember that's the accomplishments, the goals of organizing. When 3 people sacrificed their lives. The cops were the violence broke out when the families were trying to send their kids and wives away so they wouldn't starve to, other people outside the community so they could go stay with them. That's why it was called like the 3 loaves of bread strike. Here we go, at the Merrimack River. I don't know who that was. I don't know people anymore. But the Bread and Roses strike, for all the suffering, for all the families that starved, for all the arrests made. That's what always gets me about the cops, man. The cops have a union So they understand the importance of solidarity. I'm not going to get into a police union. We ain't going to discuss that. I got thoughts on that, but we ain't going to discuss now. But the cops have a union, but then they'll be the ones set out to protect the interest of the most wealthy, and they'll bust up these strikes. And that always just haunts me, man. So during that Bread and Roses strike, they made 296 arrests, 3 people died, but ultimately the workers, the IWW, International Workers of the World, the solidarity, the power in the people won out because they got to keep that shorter work week and they got a 20% raise. Again, link for information on this strike in the city of Lawrence, the immigrant city, is in the description. Look at how beautiful that is. Look at that. Merrimack River, right here. Beautiful. The immigrant city. A true working class city. Workers built this city. Workers still rule this city. So power to the people. Look up the Bread and Roses strike. Check out Lawrence, Massachusetts. If you see a local business here, support them. And don't forget, my hand is free. This wind. Listen, I don't mind when it's 22 out, but when it's 22 and windy, the wind chill is in. It feels like maybe 10, 11. God, my hand's going numb. Should have worn gloves. Gosh, my parents were right all those years ago. Bring gloves. What is, look at that smokestack. That's weird. Why would there just be a solo smokestack over there? Look at it. Sitting all by itself. Maybe the building's gone that was around it. Just a solo smokestack. Who knows what it's doing? Look at that. Not the telephone pole. I'm going to get on the other side of the telephone pole. There we go. It's that solo smokestack. And then that one looks like it's connected to a building. I don't know what that one's doing. It ain't connected to nothing. So, oh, I was saying subscribe. I go live 5 days a week, weekdays. Oh, look at that. Duck Mill at Union Crossing. This is a union town. That's why I'm coming here live from Lawrence, Massachusetts. We are in a union town. If you're just tuning in, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I go live. Always bringing some kind of entertainment, information, and hopefully from a cool location like the Merrimack River in Lawrence, Massachusetts. I love this little spot. I love the history here. Truly a working class city. And you could just see, I mean, you just get that feel, right? That vibe. All the old textile repurposed textile plants, textile mills. It's gritty. It feels working class walking around this town. You know there's history. Union Crossing, that's where we're at. Lawrence Duck Company. What? What do they sell? Ducks? Lawrence Duck Company. I gotta look that one up. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been joining the class war, who's been joining the struggle, who has joined my live streams, especially the people who are new subs, new subscribers. It means the world to me. It's free for you to do, and I'm trying to always bring you something from somewhere. Look at those! Look at those old stone chimneys, or smokestacks, or some kind of 18th century industrial ventilation. Who knows what? I don't have too much history of Lawrence. This isn't a city. Look at that door. Love those doors. I mean the architecture around here. This is working class architecture. And the graffiti in this city. Or as so my friend said, street murals is the gentrification of the word graffiti, which 100% true. Look at that. An old loading dock door turned into the Essex Arts Center. Acting Out Theater Company. Awesome. Love seeing these old repurposed working class buildings. Oh, where are these people going? So yeah, I wanted to just say thank you to all the people who have subscribed. Welcome to the class war. Welcome to the struggle. Lawrence Woolen Company builds 3 brick buildings extending from Island Street to the Merrimack River in 1886. The Kandahar Corporation purchased the property and continues to manufacture woolens. This is a cool little spot. Union Crossing. I'm guessing it didn't get that name for not being a union town. Union Crossing will continue to provide an economic boost to Lawrence well into the 21st century. Ooh, fine men's suits. This is cool. So again, City of Lawrence, known as the immigrant city, known as a real working class city. 25 miles outside of Boston. We're right next to the New Hampshire border. It's a rad spot. And the bridges. The bridges are so adorable here. In the back. All right. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Appreciate you. And if you want to stay informed, if you want to be entertained, if you want to hear some professional sarcasm, hit subscribe. Live every weekday, 5 days a week. And as the weather warms up, oh, what is that? That's got to be, I don't know if you can see that way in the back. It's got to be some kind of weird park that slopes down the hill. But as the weather warms up, again, it was 50 something, almost 60 yesterday, but it was raining. Again, New England's weather is bipolar, just like most of the people here. Uh, but as the weather warms up, I want to do live streams from, unique places throughout New England and share whether it's a haunted history, or especially if it's a working class history, whatever. But I want to bring you to these amazing, amazing locations with amazing architecture. That's the one thing that I loved about Europe. Amazing architecture. And New England kind of has that. So hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I go live, because I can only give you my word that it's 5 days a week. I can't promise the time. Today, I'm going a little early because I'm in the city of Lawrence, and I wanted to talk about the Bread and Roses strike. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to this community that we're building. And if you're subscribed now, you're getting in on the ground floor. You are truly some of the first people, and we're just gonna keep going, because I ain't stopping until you know until we're huge, till we're Mr. Beast size. But instead of smushing things with a hydraulic press, I'm going to bring you information to stay updated. Because whether or not you believe in the class war, the wealthy are organized. Just look at this city. The wealthy were organized enough where the working class had to go on strike from January to March. And those are cold months in Lawrence. But they did it. So thank you so much for wanting to be informed, wanting to join this community. Hit that like, leave a comment, your thoughts. If you've ever been to Lawrence, I want to hear from you. Oh, or what we should talk about on the next one. I'll come see you live tomorrow again, and maybe even later tonight, depending on how things go. That's why I say when you hit subscribe, make sure you hit that notification button. All right. Thanks so much. Peace.